Hey everybody, this mini lesson is going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to address any grammar or any specific vocabulary, although you might learn a few new words. My goal today is to share a few experiences of things that we would call scams or cyber attacks, things where there are criminals trying to take your money, take your identity, steal something from you. This happened to me recently. It has happened to a few of my friends, and I have actually learned of lots of scams that now run wild in the year 2022, at least in the United States. So they're probably all over the world. I'm not sure, but I thought that I would share some of these stories with you and then some helpful tips on how to avoid them. So I'm hoping that you learn something from this about keeping your money and keeping your identity and keeping all things digital secure. So here we go. Someone called the hotel phone in my room in the middle of the night and said my room was paid for, which it was, but that the staff on site did not save my credit card. And so I needed to give him my credit card number in case when we checked out, there were damages in the room. It was very odd to me because the room was paid for and we were getting ready to leave in about 4 hours. So as I'm waking up and figuring out what he's asking me, my husband chimed in and said, "This is a scam, hang up, do not give him the credit card number." So luckily he spoke up because I was starting to believe it and I was going to give this man my card number. The second example that I have for you happened a couple years ago. A friend of mine was looking for a part-time job. She set up an account or a profile on Indeed, the website. And shortly after, someone claiming to be from Indeed contacted her and said, "You'd be great to be an assistant to this very busy executive. First thing I need you to do is take this money. I'm going to send you a check." And the person did. Put it in your bank account, pay yourself, buy some other things, and then send me the rest of the money. Well, instead of going to the ATM like he instructed her to do, she went through the drive-through at the bank. So the teller was experienced with this type of scam and told her, "You should not talk to this person anymore. That's a fake check." Basically, what they want you to do is put this fake check into your account while the bank sorts it out and ends up figuring out that it is fake several days later. You think or you see the money is temporarily posted to your account. You spend money, you send money to that person, whatever the case may be. Maybe you buy gift cards. That's often part of it. But then the bank figures out that was a fake check, and then you've spent your money instead of spending the money that was supposed to come from that check. So luckily in this case too, the bank teller saved her from spending her own money on a scam. A third example that I have for you, and this one was very new to me because I've not experienced this, but I had two friends tell me a very similar story that they will receive calls or messages of some kind saying that in another city or even in the city where they live, there's a warrant for their arrest. And basically what happens is they're telling you that you need to come down to the courthouse, and if you don't want to be arrested when you turn yourself in this case, my friend was supposedly in trouble because she missed jury duty. They say you can pay a holding fee so that when you come down to the courthouse, we won't arrest you and put you in jail right away. Well, my friend actually in Texas, who this happened to, she contacted her lawyer, and even her lawyer thought it was real. Luckily, they didn't send any money. They sorted it out at the courthouse and found out that it was fake. A fourth or final sample of scamming that I will share with you that I'm sure you have seen these are fake phone calls, fake emails, text messages saying that you need to give the details of how you want to pick up your package, or you needed to update the shipping method. So for those, what they're trying to do is have you open a link that will either ruin your phone or your computer and start stealing your identity that way, or your money get into your bank account, or the phone calls end up leading to kind of the same stories like I was saying, where they start asking you for your personal information, maybe bank information or credit card information too. So when these scams come or these calls happen, what can we do What can we do about it? I do have a couple of tips, a couple of things that I do, and then a couple of things that I actually learned from a cybersecurity training that Wake Tech does. So I'll share both of those with you. First is just thinking logically. Would they really contact me this way? Could this really be my bank calling me? Or my lawyer's office calling me? Or is this really AT&T calling me about my account? Is there a way that I can verify that this is really them? So for example, if my bank calls me and I'm kind of thinking this is fake, I can simply hang up and call my bank. Call them back. Look at your card, there's a phone number on the back, call them there. They will be able to tell you. That will be the verified phone number. Another tip, especially if it's in person, if someone comes into your office or someone knocks on your door at your house, verify who they are. Make them show you a badge, a name tag, a business card. And of course, if you don't think it's legit, you don't have to listen to their sales pitch. You can contact a supervisor or at your job, maybe somebody in security. Because both at our homes and at our offices, we don't want to let in unauthorized people who then can start stealing information, which then leads to stealing identities and stealing money. And now I have a couple of tips that are more on the proactive side of things instead of reacting when you think something might be a scam or someone might be trying to steal information, is how do we prevent this if we can? So a couple of things. Shred important documents. Instead of letting them just go into the trash or into the recycling, shred them. That way people cannot steal your address, phone number, birth date, credit card information, health information, or anything else off of documents. The next one is with emails, don't be too quick to click. So an email can even come through a work website or through your work email, and it can still be a scam. So be very careful when clicking links. Not only can that, yes, lead to stealing your information, but that could lead to viruses on your computer, someone stealing a lot more information about your company or about your family. If you have a badge that you wear for work, or if you volunteer somewhere, or even with your driver's license or your ID, make sure that those types of cards, and even a credit card, make sure when you're out in public or you're shopping or you paid for your coffee but you're still holding on to your credit card, make sure all of those things get hidden away quickly and stay put away when you're in public so that no one can take a picture of a photo ID of you to learn where you work, to copy it and get back into your work building, or your ID or your credit card. Make sure those are hidden away. And lastly, a few tips, digital or technology tips, mostly for your phone, but I suppose some of these could be for your computer or a tablet. With your phone, if you're not at your house or not at work, turn off your Bluetooth and turn off your Wi-Fi. Don't connect to public Wi-Fi. Sometimes public Wi-Fi or even having Bluetooth on is a way for cyber criminals to get into your phone or onto your phone. Change your passwords early and often. Create unique passwords. So for your email, for your bank, for social media. When you're downloading an app, make sure it's the real app. I didn't know this, but scammers and criminals make fake apps that look like what we want to download, and then we end up downloading a fake app, and then they can steal our information that way. One final tip that I will leave you with: overall, be very cautious when sharing your information with anybody. That even means on Facebook or Instagram when you're leaving a comment. Be careful what you're writing. You might actually be telling someone that you don't know your birthday or your full name or your address or where your kids go to school. So just be very cautious. And when in doubt, don't give your information. If you're feeling like the phone call or the person at your front door is asking for more information than what they need, it's probably a scam. It's probably not a good sign. And you have the right to say no. So please know that you can turn someone away from your front door. You can hang up a scam phone call. You don't have to give your information by email, text, phone. So just be very careful. If this video about scams and tips to avoid scams was helpful, please leave a thumbs up. Please feel free to share this with other classmates or family and friends if you think it would help them. And I'm also interested, if you have any additional tips to contribute, please post them. Or if you have any stories that you'd like to share that you think might help other people, please feel free to share those as well. Thanks so much.